Speeds up the rate of AG recovery. Fantastic. Skilled angler. While times may have changed since Miguel first taught Kisara to fish for her own survival, it's remained her hobby nonetheless. She's a fisher. I love it. Mid-air evasion. Good. An attack that strikes the ground, sending rocks flying. Yo, KO prevention is always great. Easier overlimit is great. Elemental defense plus 20. Like, she can't dodge. She can only take, like, less damage from guarding. So, like, I feel like giving Kisara more and more defense stat is very important. Because, I mean, she's the tank, right? Easier overlimit is great. I want easier overlimit and KO prevention basically ASAP. KO prevention first, I think, then easier overlimit. And then we'll go back to looking at these other things. Okay. Alright. Alright, we can finally fish. Nice, nice, nice. There's a person, like, dying here. Heal him up. Woo, you're a lifesaver. Now I can get back to my Sorry, forget I spoke. Carry on, don't mind me. Who are you talking about? Infantry shield, nice.
I'm always amazed what healing arts can do.
Just doing my job. No need to thank me.
Really quickly, hit me with equipment. Infantry shield. It's worse. Why would they give me this? It's worse than the default.
Hey. Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it.
Yeah, I mean, you've been serving him, like, how long have you been a part of his guard? Like, he's been the Lord for 7 years, right? So I imagine you've probably been serving as his guard for at least 4 or 5. It's not easy to just suddenly be like, yeah, I'm gonna break all of those habits immediately.
I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
I really hope the game gives me a tutorial for that soon. Hello. I want to manage the ranch, thank you. Hey, chicken, look at all those chickens. Oh my word, 12. We can raise horses now? Agile herbivores that sleep while standing. They deliver brutal kicks with their strong hind legs, discouraging stray Zoogles from attacking. Raise a horse? What do I get out of a horse? Are we gonna eat horse meat? Oh, I didn't realize that was so low on money. That's fine. I should have done the fattening one anyways. If you need to clear your head a little, there's a good pond where you can drop your fishing line and relax. Yeah, you're telling me, brother. Let's camp.
Why are you looking at me like that?
That armor you wear is standard issue for the Menancian Guard, right?
Originally, I've added some flair to it in a lot of places.
I noticed, especially with that open back.
We Guardsmen pride ourselves on never showing our back to our enemies. It's my way of making myself live up to that. Plus, it makes it that much lighter and easier to maintain.
Dohalim, do you have anything to say about this?
Every guardsman is allowed to wear their armor as they see fit.
And you, Law?
Huh? Why are you asking me?
The poor Law. Poor Law. We appear to have not missed a skit. Nice. All right, who wants to cook? I should probably finally take advantage of this fruit sandwich thing. Yeah, we have plenty of materials for it, actually. We've finally been getting milk and strawberries. The only question is an extra 5 minutes on the experience boost for making it less effective. I think we're gonna get to another cooking opportunity within roughly 10 minutes. I think 15 minutes is honestly, like, too long. Law, Kisara, and Dohalim. I mean, I gotta do the waifu.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit. Maintaining your shield? It's becoming a familiar sight.
Miguel was the one who taught me how to maintain my equipment after I first joined the Guard. Now, it's just a part of my routine.
Your brother always seems to come up whenever I talk to you.
That's because we had no other relatives, so it was just the two of us growing up. He was my idol, the one I looked up to and wanted to be like. When I became a guardsman, Lagiel wasn't too pleased to see me at first. It was Miguel who really welcomed me aboard.
Lagiel? Oh, right. She was Miguel's second in the Gold Dust Cats, wasn't she?
That's right. She's always been a very critical and down-to-earth person. In other words, the complete opposite of a dreamer like me.
You're more an idealist than some pie-in-the-sky dreamer.
Even so, that's my brother's doing. He'd never let me stop seeing a brighter world. He always did what he could to keep me smiling and happy.
You must have meant a lot to him.
He wasn't just kind, either. He always worked so hard to set an example for me and everyone else around him. He was a true big brother. So much so that when he thought I was asleep, he'd slip out of the house to go training on the outskirts of town.
You seem to know a lot about it.
That's because I only pretended to be asleep and would follow after him. You know what? I'm at a good stopping point with my shield. If you've got time, how about I tell you a couple more Miguel stories?
I guess I'd better get comfortable.
We are now closer to Kisara.
See you
Nice.
tomorrow.
Miguel, what a guy. He's
Before
a puddle
we go,
now.
Do you guys have everything?
All right, let's see if going into the next area will give me the Dohalim tutorial that I'm wanting.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Mountain Trail, Mount Daria. Coreless Party.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renins.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renin doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman, and this is my chance to have a new beginning.
Very neat, very neat. It's a lot of birds.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danan, while the Renins are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
Yeah, given Law's backstory. Really quickly, people, Lone Wolf probably, or anyone else who's played through the game, how, like, far away, like, there's a tutorial for Dohalim's stuff, right? Like, with all the other characters and their boost moves? Where is it? Is it, like, up ahead, or is it, like, I'm gonna have to go a little ways? Because I want to go back and fight that dragon, but I wanted to get the Dohalim thing first. But if it's like, oh, you're not gonna run into that for, like, 2 more areas or something. You're gonna get the tutorial in this area? Alright, we'll go a little bit further then. Hi, birds.
Don't get careless.
Caw!
Don't tell me!
Shoot it down.
I'm not so good with airborne targets.
I'm all stuffed up.
I'm pressing the wrong button.
Flying free!
Dude, so like, you see where Kisara and Rinwell are on the bottom thing? When I hit L2, I immediately hit down and left to try and use them, because it looks like they're down and left where they are on the lower thing to me. And I think I might change up their positioning based on that. Hey, punch. Resonate with the earth. What is this bird? Hello? Oh my goodness.
Benediction light.
Hello, bird. Thanks for the healing. Make sure you hit right for Dohalim. Wrong combo. I used the wrong combo. I'm mad at myself.
I'm ready!
This one's got your name on it.
Action to action.
Nice.
I can feel my power growing!
So what haven't we've seen Dohalim's combo with Rinwell. It's like the dark light combo. And then there was one bird that wasn't part of the fight. Weird. And then Dohalim's combo with Shield.
I'll face you.
Got flyers.
I've got this. Let him.
Blow them away.
Yo! Double melee combo
Together,
of death.
That wasn't even a problem.
Love that a lot. What if I do this? Let's see how this looks in combat. Hi! Oh, this must be it. This is a pain. Why can't this Zoogle stand still? I shouldn't have even bothered asking chat. They were literally just right there.
All right.
Perhaps it's time I deploy my secret weapon. I'll stop it right where it stands. Grow vines from the ground to ensnare enemies and strike them. Effective on fleet-footed enemies, this nullifies their evasive abilities and downs them. Tutorial start. Alright, yeah, I like the position of Kisara and Rinwell a lot better now, because now when I'm looking at it with the normal group, it just looks like they're down and, like they're supposed to be down and left with the way they're positioned. Come back, I'm not done hitting you yet, you dumb idiot. Hey, hit this one too.
Less talking, more doing.
Success! When fast enemies like wolves or monkeys appear, send in Dohalim. His boost attack will nullify their evasive abilities and keep them from dodging attacks. Let's go. Bird!
And you can't get out of this. A thrilling performance.
No! No! I need to see more combos! I love Negative Gate. Brings back memories of Elise from Tales of Xillia.
This one's got your name on it.
What do we still... I don't think we've seen Dohalim and Alphen, right? It's Dohalim and Alphen, and then Dohalim and Kisara are the only combo moves we haven't seen in the playthrough so far. Come on, I need to see some stuff.
No further.
No further, you freak. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go.
Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis.
Easy Radiant Genesis.
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danan relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renins first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renin who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renins have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danan history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course.
Crocodile Crusher. Ages ago, this worn-down hammer was used to beat back crocodiles. Those skilled enough to dual-wield with it were lauded as champions. Artifacts. Oh, okay. Artifacts confer special abilities simply by having them. Dilettante. Obtain your first non-DLC artifact. I don't have any DLC artifacts. Its strange, beguiling form never fails to shock and intrigue. Confer special effects simply by having them, some of which serve as bonuses that can be enjoyed after clearing the game. You can toggle each of these effects on or off from the artifact effect list. Interesting. Additional art panels you can now set. Yes! Finally! I knew it! And you hold L2. I literally called it. I'm surprised it took them this long to give us this option, but I knew there was no way they were only gonna let you have 3 arts on the ground for this entire game. That would have been actual madness. I am so glad, because the further and further we got in the game, the more and more I thought, like, man, I really wish I could be trying out more arts and stuff, but I feel like it would be stupid of me to, like, get off of the arts that I've been leveling up and getting all these counts up on and whatnot. And also there's only 3, which is like not enough to work with. So I am very pleased that they did exactly what I thought they should do. You can now set 6 additional arts, press 6 additional arts. Press triangle on the art screen to switch between panels. Arts that are set to the second panel can be executed by pressing L2. Perfect. Exactly. Perfectly what I wanted to see. Thank you, game. Thank you. Faster AG recovery, always fantastic to see. Treasure Hunter. Dohalim comes across an unusual artifact whose purpose remains a mystery. Whether his intrigue is truly justified is up for debate. Increased normal attack limit is great. I really hope we can get an increased normal attack limit on Alphen soon. I'm kind of surprised we haven't gotten one yet. Rod extension time limit, rod extension attack, AG restored by guarding and evading. And guarding and evading is what triggers his rod extension, so I assume and hope his AI is really good at that. Elemental defense is pretty good. Artifact types acquired 8. Okay, yeah, we need to, we're gonna put some heavy focus on that title. That title is gonna be really useful. These are all just basic buffs.